Welcome back to the Edwards Report. My name's Kaylin, and did you know the government is bleeding your hard-earned money? And I don't think it's by accident. Today on the Edwards Report, we will be exposing everything and how it's affecting you as a taxpayer. Let's get into it.
So my husband just told me that I need to get a job so that I could go 50-50 with him on bills. I told him that I don't want to work because if not, I'm not going to get no more EBT or cash assistance. He's telling me that, we need to go 50-50 because he's tired of having to pay all the bills and I don't do anything around the house.
What?
So I told him, okay, you're lucky that you don't have to pay a dime for food because if not, then there would really be an issue.
Are these real conversations going on in these households?
He wants to take away my cash assistance. And I told him, absolutely not. What am I going to stay with? He's like, at least help me with half of that money put towards the bills. And I told him no.
Not everybody has to work to receive food stamps. I don't work, and I get $1,000.
She look like she at work right now, though. And that's why she whispering. Hopefully she is.
A month-end food stamps, though. How does that happen? I can tell that most of you are really jealous that you don't get food stamps. I can't help that. That's not my problem. You can always sign up for it. If you don't qualify, just say you're separated from your spouse.
It's a lie. Lie is what she's asking you to do.
And quit your job, and you should qualify.
This isn't the flex that they think it is.
I am entitled to that money. My husband pays taxes. He has a job. He pays taxes. So I'm just getting that money back. It's not a big deal. You guys can quit telling me to get a job because I'm not going to.
Story time about how I got caught lying on my food stamp application. So the year is 2020. Everybody is at their peak scamming position. I'm talking PPP loans. I'm talking about stimulus checks. I'm talking about food stamps.
Do you guys remember what you were doing in 2020? Were you really thinking about scamming everyone around you, or were you just trying to stay alive? Opportunists will take the opportunity. I tell you, wasn't nobody thinking about scamming but these folks.
So I said to myself said, I said, you need some food stamps too, boo. Go get you some. So I moseyed on down to the SNAP website. It was my time to shine. I go ahead on and fill out the application. It's myself, 3 kids. But there was an important piece that I've left out. I forgot to tell them about my man. Child, I done told them people my kids ain't got no daddy. Anywho, fast forward, we get approved. And I'm
They're on the internet saying it. This is not real. This is not real life.
fucking approved. Now, by this point, I quit my job. So everything's going well for a while. I'm getting my little money every month. They're giving me about $700, okay? And I wasn't playing about my little sev. I was at the grocery store promptly, 8 a.m. every 9th of the month. So about 5 months go by, then I go back to work. Here's where everything falls apart. So one day I'm getting ready for work. I got my kids out the door, day at daycare. I'm just getting ready for work, listening to gospel music like the beautiful, holy, saved woman I am. I hear a knock at the door. I don't answer doors because I have anxiety, so my husband got it, which is normal. It's his house. I hear him say, babe. So I'm like, what could anyone want with me? I go to the door. And for the sake of this video, we're going to say her name was Jessica Rubenstein. She says, my name is Jessica Rubenstein from the county fraud department. My heart was in my... I'm like...
Oh. Getting caught, huh? Worried, little worried. The woman of God over here frauding the government.
Yes, Miss Rubenstein. Whatever could you want? So she's like, so you put on your application that you're a single mother, but we see here that you're married. Married? Well, whoever told you that? Like it ain't public record. I said, ma'am, somebody done told you wrong. Y'all, this lady pulled out a whole file on me. She's just like, all right, let's cut the crap. I know you're married. I know that's your husband. Do you want me to look around? Like, I know this is your man. She's like, the more you lie, the less I can help you. Whatever. Okay, fine. You caught me. What's up? So she's like, of course I have to share my findings. Of course you're going to be off of food stamps. Of course you're going to be done with daycare because you lied.
Daycare? Food stamps? I didn't even know daycare was a part of it. What? So these people are getting free daycare and still not out here working?
That's what happens when you lie. So I'm like, you mean I have to use my own money? She goes back to the office. Of course, she shares her findings with her boss as she's supposed to. And of course, I get cut off. Now I have a bill. So fast forward to 2023. So far, I ain't pay on the bill at all. I was just letting it rock out. You know what I mean? Because clearly I didn't have the money if I had to take it from you. But when you owe somebody, they gonna get their money. And how do they get their money? My taxes.
Yeah.
When I say them people got their revenge on me, they got it. Over $2,000 of my tax return. Gone. Did they take it? You know they did. You know they got their money.
So let me tell you what's really happening behind closed doors. In 2024 alone, the government made $162 billion in improper payments. That's nearly $1,200 stolen from every American household. Let that sink in. So you get people that are talking about, well, how is it affecting you? How's it affecting you? Well, when you take that total number and you divide it by how many households, that's the burden. This is what people are stealing from you. So if you're paying over $1,200 in taxes ever, they're taking that from you. These aren't just harmless accounting errors. Fraudulent activity is rampant. And programs like SNAP are seeing even more fraud increases. Back in 2012, SNAP fraud cost $367 million. And by 2016, it had ballooned to nearly $600 million. And with the latest expansions in 2024, experts are warning that SNAP fraud could hit $130 million per month. And the worst part? It's happening evenly. High tax states are hemorrhaging money, recovering far less fraud than the low tax states. One study showed that if high tax states were even half as efficient, they could have recovered almost $1 billion stolen instead of just $235 million. And while hardworking Americans are struggling to pay for groceries, gas, and childcare, fraudsters are draining the system dry. And y'all know we always got to keep it funky with the Bible. So Proverbs 11:1 reminds us, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. The world wants you to believe that a little bit of fraud is no big deal. But the kingdom perspective? Every dollar misused is a dollar stolen from truly needy. And beyond that, it's just sinful. It's against God, and we know that God is just. So if hearing numbers like this lights a little righteous indignation fire inside of you, make sure to hit the like button and comment below, have you ever witnessed fraud or waste firsthand? Let's call it out together and continue our mission and continue reporting on this mess.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but the mama buying crab legs with her food stamps is not the end of the world, and she's not taking advantage of the system. The dad that's buying shrimp and steak with his food stamps, not the end of the world, nor is he taking advantage of the system. The mama that is letting her baby buy his or her favorite candy or cookies or some type of treat with her food stamps, not the end of the world, and she's not taking advantage of the system. When are we going to stop judging people? Okay, you take a 10-second window of seeing someone and say, oh my God, they're taking advantage of the system. They have food stamps and they can get crab legs. Well, I can't even afford crab legs, but you know what they might not be able to afford? They might not be able to afford not working 2 jobs.
But what if they can?
To survive, okay? They might not be able to afford cake or cupcakes for their baby's birthday.
But what if they can? It's very easy to assume what fits your argument, but assume the opposite. What if they can and they're still taking advantage of it? What say you then?
Without those food stamps, they might not be able to afford that steak and shrimp or crab legs that they want to eat one time a year because it's their birthday without those food stamps.
Why not? Why can't they afford it? Because you have no compassion on the working people that can't afford it and are rightfully envious of the people who are getting it for free. You have no compassion for them, but you got all this to say for the people who can't afford it and are getting food stamps. But you don't question them ever. You just chastise the people who are rightfully upset. They have a righteous indignation. What do you say to the people about the situation that they are perpetually in? What do you say to them? Y'all are feeling bad for the wrong people. This is clown world.
Okay, and you know how I know this? Because I was that mom, okay? I was a 20-year-old single mom. I worked 2 jobs, okay? Listen.
And how did you get there? How?
2 jobs, 50
And then how'd you get out?
plus hours a week. But by the time I paid rent to put a roof over my child's head, by the time I paid my car payment for a reliable vehicle to transport my child, by the time I paid my cell phone to be reachable for my child, by the time I paid the electric to keep the lights on for my child, by the time I paid the internet so my baby could watch TV, by the time I provided all of her basic necessities, diapers, wipes, clothes, shoes, etc., there was nothing left.
Literally, good for you for taking care of your children. That is what we all do. And she sounds like she was a prime candidate for the food stamp. Somebody that we wouldn't be irritated with, except for her faulty way of reasoning about this. We're not even mad at you, homegirl. You did what you needed to do. 50 plus hours a week. You got in your situation however you did. But hey, you made it out with hard work. We're talking about the people that are clearly fraudsters and taking advantage of the system and perpetuating this generationally. Why are you shilling for them when you've been in the situation and worked your way out of it? Why are you enabling them?
I don't know how I would have fed her had I not had food stamps. And then all the soldiers will come in and say, oh, well, if you can't afford a baby, don't have one. It happens, Brenda. Okay? I got pregnant. Now, if I would have aborted her, you would have told me I was a horrible human being because I ended a human life, right? But then I kept her, and because I needed assistance in raising her, I was also a terrible mother. See how there's no win there? So, hush.
Whoa, what? I was participating in the act that made babies. Stuff happens. I accidentally made a baby, and now I'm going to have to kill the baby because I can't feed the baby. No. Be responsible. When you do adult things, then you get adult results. And when you have sex, you can have babies. Okay? So yes, we can reasonably expect abstinence from people who would not otherwise be able to support their children.
Stop judging people off of a brief 10 to 15 second window that you see of them living their life, and let them just enjoy the small things. Let them enjoy those crab legs. Let them enjoy the steak or the shrimp. Let that baby enjoy their cupcakes or their candy. Because
cupcakes and candy are so much less expensive than crab legs and steaks. Like, what is she even, what? The gap between those, we're talking about a few dollars versus 10, 20, 30 per get out of here.
in the grand scheme of things, what is it affecting your life that she swiped an EBT card for those things? Truly, what is it affecting your life?
Now, in my opinion, SNAP benefits are there to help people feed themselves and their families, but those SNAP benefits are often abused. Some people get so many SNAP benefits that they're able to sell some of them for monetary gains. Some foods should be a privilege to be able to purchase in the stores. And besides, people getting food stamps are eating better than hard-paying tax citizens right now.
I wish more people understood economic incentives and how that drives consumer behavior. You show me the incentive and I'll show you the behavior. This woman before this last one is over here talking about what does it matter to you, all this, that, and the third. And it's like, it matters because what we're doing as a culture, what we're doing as a society, and how we are telling people it's okay to live. And then the unintended consequences of those decisions and the behavior that subsequently comes after. This is not good. The last woman that we had up was saying, some of these foods should be a privilege because when you go out and you work hard and you earn it, it should feel like a privilege that you're able to spend your hard-earned money on it. It just makes it taste that much better. But you know, for people who never worked hard and don't work hard, they don't want to feel that feeling, and they never will. They're just going to expect you to work hard so they could reap the benefits of your labor.
Certain, I might not get no food stamps, but let me tell you, baby, I don't play when it's time to come to my kids, because they gonna eat all the time.
Wow.
They cut my food stamps, y'all, and I had to spend cash. But baby, don't you ever get it twisted. Don't you ever get it twisted. You feel me? Because they going to eat all the effing time. Don't play with me. I'ma feed mine. Looking like a whole smack. And I got some oxtails cooking in the bag, you feel me? And my kids want some chicken nuggets, fat and Musa. I spent $441 cash. Oh, the government said I make too much money. I was crying at first, but you know what? I ate that.
You know, it's not even the fact that they have the food that gets me. It's the fact that I'm even doing this right now, that we're even seeing this right here, because this is them throwing it in our face. They know what they're doing. Some of these people probably really need it. They probably really do. But while needing it, they're throwing it in our face and showing off, because I guarantee, don't any of y'all pantries look like this? And even if you could, which you probably can't afford all this food, you're not even gonna buy this stuff. This is how you end up bankrupt with health bills, because you got high blood pressure and diabetes. That's what we really need to be talking about.
Somebody please help me understand why one piece of paper would get me denied for food stamps. I am a single mom of 7, and I just got denied for food stamps because I couldn't get one piece of paper signed saying how much I was receiving from someone for a month. So,
from someone? Is it child support?
Yes, one piece of paper. I have turned in my income. I have turned in every piece of paper they have asked for. I have turned in my housing. I have turned in my bills, what I have and what I don't have. And I have been denied as a mom of 7 for food stamps because I couldn't get one piece of paper. Someone tell me, is this legal? Someone tell me, is this how it works in your state? I turned in everything on my side, but because I have one piece of paper missing that is not in my control, I have been denied for food stamps.
It sounds like the baby daddy is not willing to sign off on this, or maybe she's not willing to disclose how much she's getting from him. I mean, you got 7 kids. We're not going to talk about the means that they got here, but the fact that they are here. This is somebody that I believe is perfectly qualified for food stamps, whether we like how they got there or not. Y'all can fight me in the comments. But there ain't no way the single mom is about to provide for all them kids. And what we going to do, just watch them starve? No. That's where I start to part ways with some of y'all on this. Now, I might not like the optics, but the fact of the matter is the kids are here already. Now, the best thing that we can do is continue making videos like this and trying to disciple the culture away from the activities that might lead to one being a single mom of 7. But again, this is not against her directly. We don't know how she got here. The father of her children could have passed away, could have been incarcerated. I don't know. But I just know that this is not it right here.
So listen, I'm gonna need you guys to run up the videos because obviously we gotta get it done. Because I Spark. I don't really DoorDash anymore because they don't really make a lot of money. And then I make my t-shirts. So listen, if you need a t-shirt, a mug, a cup, a sign, hit me up. You can DM me at any of my social medias. Or if you know my number.
No, this ain't it. This ain't gonna work. That's not gonna support 8 of y'all. It's not. DoorDash ain't gonna do it. The shirts ain't gonna do it. The mugs ain't gonna do it. You gonna have to get a big girl job. You're gonna need a lot of help from the community. You might have to join a church and, lean on the compassionate hearts of other folks, including the government, and just pray that the kids that, she has get raised and don't repeat this. But what would y'all do? What would y'all do? Because I can't come down because she's already in the situation. And obviously everybody can play Monday morning quarterback and say she shouldn't have did what she did. And I mean, she knows that. But what would you do right now in her situation? Like realistically practical advice. She may not ever see this, but I don't know. What would you actually do? Because I can't imagine.
Hit your girl up. But yeah, one piece of paper stopped me from food stamps, but that the one monkey don't stop no show. Let's go.
Okay, so as y'all know, I am pregnant and I have 3 other children. And so, I see you guys' comments saying get meat, beans, rice, whatever, right? But I still find myself short on food. Like, how am I supposed to survive off of this with 3 kids and pregnant?
It's supposed to just be a supplement. You're not supposed to survive off of it. It's supposed to help you survive, but not completely take care of you.
For a whole month. I don't get my food stamps until the end of the month. Like, this is crazy. And like I said, they lowered my stamps because I told them that housing paid my rent and I get money from the government, which is just to pay my lights. So there's no way I can just use cash to pay for food. This is really ridiculous. This is getting out of hand. I really have to make that other food stretch. I'd rather the fast food than this because it's stretched a little bit, but I just don't know how I'm going to survive off of this.
The fact that she's making this video, I'm just going to make some assumptions. They may not be true for y'all. So y'all forgive me. But it's almost like it's very easy for people to come back and just be like, oh, we don't know how long she's been on food stamps. She could have just got on it. And, she's just trying to get on her feet, right? But the fact she's recording this and has the entitlement to be able to say this just ain't enough, and it just kind of comes off ungrateful. I'm just got to say that. It leads me to believe she's been on it for a very long time. Like she's used to this. She's used to what she was getting before. She's getting what she's getting now. This ain't enough. I need more. And that's making me think that she's ungrateful, one. But it's also making me think that there is no real plan to get on her feet. This looks like the plan to me. And the plan ain't really working out. So maybe instead of going on TikTok and complaining about the benefits that you're actually getting, it sounds like she's getting housing, she's getting cash, and she's getting some food stamps. Maybe instead of complaining, you be grateful and you just kind of keep a lid on it and you work towards not needing this at all. That's what everybody else is doing.
This is getting out of hand, Houston. How am I supposed to survive? Me and my 3 children, and I have 1 on the way. How am I supposed to survive off of this? This is ridiculous.
I have to call the food stamp people and tell them that they're not giving me enough money.
At first, I was gonna be like everybody else and be like, girl, how in the hell can't you and a 1-year-old survive on $500 worth of food stamps every month? Like, are y'all eating premium choice cuts, Grey Poupon and all that every day? Then I realized something. A lot of grown folks don't know how to grocery shop. A lot of people were never taught how to grocery shop. They were never taught how to get their staples. They were never taught how to budget for their seasonings. They were never told how to buy in bulk. A lot of people do not know how to meal plan and grocery shop. So I'm going to show you something. I'm going to share something with you that's going to help. I saw in your comments that you shop at Walmart, so let me show you something. Now, this ain't sponsored because they be ignoring my pictures, but if you go into the grocery section of Walmart, they have a recipe column. And if you go to the recipe section, you will be able to see all these different breakfast, lunches, and dinners. And when you click on the recipe, it breaks it down for you. You can change the serving amount.
This is actually helpful.
How much it costs per serving. Then it shows you all the ingredients. And you can use EBT on Walmart pickup and delivery. Then you can click add to your cart, puts it all in your cart. As well as it gives you all the directions. And look, it even got the slope. Parents, teach your kids how to grocery shop, how to fill a house with food,
how to buy the staples. You can go get big bags of rice, put them in jars, big bags of beans, all of that. We need to teach people how to grocery shop so they don't end up adults blowing through their grocery budget because they don't know how to buy food. People know how to eat and get the things they like, but they don't know how to buy food. So I hope this is able to help you. I didn't want to be like mean or condescending. I want to help you feed that baby and feed yourself. Okay?
The culture has bought into deadly lies about government money. The first myth is it's just the government's money. It doesn't really hurt anyone. But the reality, y'all, the reality is the government money is taxpayer money. It's your money. They act like the government is just some business that just is over here operating. No, it's your money, y'all. It's yours. The second myth is everyone's doing it, so it's okay. But the reality is widespread theft doesn't make it righteous. It multiplies corruption. And here's the real kicker. Poor program management fuels this mess. High tax states overspend and under recover, while low tax states enforce tighter controls and recover more money per beneficiary. One of the most damaging cultural myths is that compassion means endless handouts without accountability. But real compassion, kingdom compassion, demands stewardship, not waste. Proverbs 13:11 teaches us that dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. Fraud might seem like a quick win, but it always leads to loss. It's so hard to keep up with these lies, as we've seen evidenced in these videos. These people get caught and they have to pay the piper and they have to pay the consequences, and then they act like victims on the other side. That ain't right. If you do the crime, you do the time. If you guys are seeing through these lies, tap the like button and then comment below what myth about government spending did you once believe that you now are starting to question. It's actually crazy when you start to look under the hood of all the mess that's going on. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below.
Now I know this ruffles a lot of feathers and a lot of y'all are going to be angry about it because you feel like you deserve to be on food stamps or you should qualify and this and that. But you want to know what I think? You want to know how I feel? I feel like it's time. It's time to get your up and go out and do what you need to do for your family. You need to go and you need to work like everybody else. 1 job, 2 jobs, don't matter how many jobs. I got 5. So get out there and make your own money to buy your own food. Let the people who don't got nothing going on get the food stamps. You know, people who can't work, people who have health issues going on, veterans, you know, stuff like that. People who really, truly need it. Not people who are just trying to use it so they can use that extra money to go to the club and buy a new wig.
Indiana has just passed where if you are on food stamps or state assistance, you cannot use those for soda or candy. What's your thoughts on this? Mine are, I worked at a grocery store. I've seen what people use that on. Granted, it's been over 10 years since I've worked there, but when I did, some people come in, that's all they would buy with their food stamps. They would buy a whole entire cart full of soda, and that's all they would spend their food stamps on is
We keep hearing this over and over from like actual workers. It's crazy.
soda or candy and junk food. I think it's a positive thing if they are more pushed towards buying actual food with it and not junk.
I never like to do these videos without providing a actual solution. And as always, it's the Bible. It's rooted in the word because God's wisdom shows us a better way forward than the ways we've been going. The step number 1 is steward everything with integrity. Luke 16:10 says, whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. So the practical action that can be taken here is to stay vigilant. Speak up when you see fraud or waste, and then demand integrity at every level of leadership. Step number 2, defend the truly needy. We see in Proverbs 31:9 to defend the rights of the poor and the needy. So we should support programs that truly help the vulnerable, but we can also reject systems that reward laziness and deception. And then 3, the last one is to practice righteous oversight. In 2 Chronicles 19:7, it warns us, now let the fear of the Lord be on you. Judge carefully, for with the Lord our God there is no injustice or partiality or bribery. We should back leaders, policies, and reforms that prioritize accountability and not favoritism. So as you guys can see, government waste isn't just frustrating, it's a moral crisis. When we steward God's resources, God's way, we create a society where the truly vulnerable are cared for and the corrupt are held accountable. So thank you guys for watching today's video. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and smash the like button. Share this video with someone who still thinks a little fraud doesn't matter, and then comment your biggest government waste story down below. Don't forget to subscribe to theedwardsreport.com for more free biblical truth in this broken world. We're exploring everything and we're not holding back. I love y'all. I pray the Lord blesses you, that he keeps you, that he turns his face towards you, that he lifts his countenance towards you, that he gives you favor, and that he gives you peace.